Critical theory of Michael Apple. Michael Apple is a famous educational theorist who studies how schools. Apple believes that schools can either help the rich and powerful remain in control, or they can be used to question unfair systems and bring social. In short, Apple's critical theory sees education as a political and social tool. It should not just train students for jobs, but should help think critically, challenge injustice, and work toward equality. 2. Education and social change in the critical theory. Apple shows that education has a big role in shaping society. Schools are not just places for learning facts, but they also pass on values, culture, and social rules. If schools only pass on the values of the rich and powerful, society will remain unequal. However, education can also be a tool for social change. Teachers, students, and communities can challenge unfair practices like gender discrimination, poverty, or class privilege through education. Apple believes in the idea of democratic education, where learning is fair, inclusive, and allows everyone to have a voice. In this way, schools can help create social justice by giving equal opportunities to both rich and poor students, encouraging critical thinking instead of rote learning, including the knowledge and experiences of marginalized groups, preparing learners to solve community problems and fight for fairness. Thus, Apple's theory shows that education can either keep the old unfair system or become a force for positive social change. 3. What would critical theorists change in Uganda's university education? If Michael Apple's ideas were applied to Uganda's university education, several changes could be made to improve fairness and equality. Some of these changes include curriculum reform. Universities should include local knowledge, African culture, and community-based solutions in the curriculum, instead of depending too much on Western ideas. Access and inclusion. More support should be given to students from poor families, rural areas, and marginalized communities to access higher education. Critical thinking. Universities should not only prepare students for jobs, but also teach them to think critically about society, corruption, inequality, and human rights. Democratic participation. As students and lecturers should have a stronger voice in how universities are run, instead of decisions being left only to administrators and politicians. Social justice focus. Research and teaching should address community needs, like poverty reduction, gender equality, and environmental protection. Conclusion. Michael Apple's critical theory teaches us that education is never neutral. It can either keep unfair systems alive or become a tool for justice. In Uganda, applying his ideas would mean making universities more inclusive, democratic, and socially responsible. This would prepare students not just for careers, but also for building a fair and equal society.